What if Caesar had made just 5 different decisions? Now we know Julius Caesar was murdered by his own friends on March 15th, 44 BCE, in one of history's most infamous betrayals. Stabbed 23 times by a group of senators he had pardoned and trusted, Caesar's death changed the course of Western civilization. But what if it didn't have to happen? What critical moments did Caesar overlook that cost him everything? How could the most powerful man in Rome have saved his own life? In the final days before his assassination, Caesar received an alarming number of warnings that he simply chose to ignore. A soothsayer approached him in the street with the cryptic message, "Beware the Ides of March." Rather than investigating what this might mean, Caesar dismissed it as the ravings of a superstitious old man. The night before March 15th, his wife Calpurnia experienced vivid nightmares in which she held Caesar's bleeding corpse in her arms. She awoke in terror and begged her husband not to attend the Senate that day. The omens throughout Rome were said to be terrible. Statues reportedly wept blood, lightning struck temples, and strange cries were heard in the night. Here was the fatal mistake he made. Caesar's pride and his desire to appear strong before the Senate led him to ignore every single warning. He even mocked those who urged caution, suggesting that fear of omens was beneath a man of his stature. He told his wife that cowards die many times before their deaths, but the valiant taste death only once. What he should have done differently. Had Caesar taken even one day to investigate these warnings seriously, he would have lived. His intelligence network could have uncovered the conspiracy. His allies could have interrogated suspicious senators. Even simply postponing the Senate meeting would have disrupted the conspirators' carefully coordinated plan. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is knowing when to pause and assess danger rather than charging forward to prove your courage. For years, Caesar maintained a personal bodyguard of loyal Spanish soldiers who had served with him during his military campaigns. These men were absolutely devoted to him and would have died to protect him. They were trained warriors who could detect threats and neutralize them before they reached Caesar. However, in the months leading up to his death, Caesar made a catastrophic decision. He dismissed his entire protective detail. The fatal mistake. Caesar wanted to project an image of being a man of the people, someone who trusted Roman citizens and didn't fear them. He believed that maintaining armed guards would make him look like a tyrant who ruled through fear rather than love. He wanted to walk among senators and citizens alike without the barrier of security. This decision was based on a fundamental misunderstanding of human nature. Caesar assumed that because he had shown mercy to his former enemies and brought prosperity to Rome, he had earned universal loyalty. What he should have done. A living leader serves his people far better than a dead one. Maybe I should repeat that again. A living leader serves his people far better than a dead one. Had Caesar kept even a small security detail, even just a little, the assassination would have been virtually impossible. Bodyguards would have been present in the theater of Pompeii, where the killing took place. They would have noticed senators surrounding Caesar in an unusual formation. They would have seen weapons being drawn. Most importantly, the conspirators would have known that any assassination attempt would likely fail and cost them their own lives, which would have been a powerful deterrent. Security isn't a sign of tyranny. It's a practical necessity for anyone in power. On the morning of March 15th, a Greek teacher named Artemidorus discovered the details of the assassination plot. Desperate to save Caesar, he wrote down the names of all the conspirators and the specifics of their plan on a small piece of papyrus. As Caesar walked toward the theater of Pompeii, where the Senate was meeting, Artemidorus pushed through the crowd and tried to hand him the note. He specifically told Caesar that it concerned his personal safety and should be read immediately. Caesar waved Artemidorus away, saying that personal matters would have to wait because he needed to attend to Rome's public business first. He never read the letter. After his assassination, the note was found still clutched in his hand, the names of his murderers clearly written out, the warning complete and explicit. What could he have done differently? This was perhaps the most tragically avoidable moment in the entire sequence of events. Had Caesar paused for just 60 seconds to read Artemidorus' letter, he would have learned exactly who was planning to kill him and when. He could have had guards arrest the conspirators before they even entered the Senate chamber. The plot would have been exposed, and Caesar would have survived. The lesson here is profound. Sometimes the most important information comes from unexpected sources. Leaders who are too busy or too self-important to listen to warnings often pay the ultimate price. Those 60 seconds Caesar saved by not reading the letter cost him the rest of his life.